So now it's time for our State of the MCU. We have a few things to talk about here, like stuff going forward, stuff that's come in the last few movies. Let's start with Love and Thunder since we talked about that. Trash.
Which
But I really enjoyed it when it first came out.
Here's the thing about, I was thinking back to that podcast that we did, and I rated it higher, way higher than I would now. And that's the thing. So that's why I'm very conflicted on what I want to give this movie itself. Because as we talked about it, there's a lot of things I like. The core of the movie, I think, is really solid. But there's a lot of dumb shit in it. Like
the writing in the movie is very solid. Oh my God.
Yeah, and I think that's the most important part. Because the writing is what, like the little details, we're not really going to remember them later on. We can forget about them. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with the structure or like with what happens in this movie. But like, there's like a lot of dumb shit. Like, like why does it have to be like so tonally inconsistent? Why is like there's these themes that are brought up that aren't really explored that, we can brush them aside. We can forget about them, but they're there. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
And then you got the dumb shit with the girl who's supposed to be a rat. And she has powers for some reason. It's like Marvel shit,
Yeah, that's like greater MCU stuff that probably just planted seeds for. I think all James Gunn had a say in was the new team and what it was consisted of.
Right.
So,
and I feel like
he's done.
I feel like he picked the hardest characters to really write an ensemble with. I don't
Except
buy
for Rocket and Groot. I mean, they're
right because he did all the legwork already.
Exactly.
So and Kraglin a little bit.
And Adam. Adam's pretty good too. So I mean,
he's got a good start.
Yeah.
No.
So now moving on to Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Real good. I like that movie a lot. It had visually stunning. Story was pretty good. It was kind of hard to work around, Chadwick's death and everything.
I commend them for what they did. They made a watchable movie out of a horrible circumstance.
Yep. Quantumania.
I really don't. There's nothing really to say about Quantumania. It's just another Marvel movie. It's just there. And that's the sad thing about Ant-Man. It just kind of seems like they're just there.
Yep. And now here we are. This movie stands completely on its own. Like this has very little impact on the MCU as a whole, except maybe the new Guardians team.
Mm-hmm. But sometimes that's
all. It's what you need.
It doesn't have to affect the entire universe, And honestly, the smaller the stories just seem to be the better ones. Like, I care so much about this little raccoon, who never said he was a raccoon until now, which is, who would have thought that that character arc would have been compelling? But if we're talking about the MCU as a whole, because it's the state of the MCU, right now, I think, a lot of people would say this is, a good or excellent, state right now.
We have our rating system for this.
Yeah,
so,
we have
we have a 5-tier thing from poor to excellent. So poor being up in flames, fair, meh, good, solid movie, or solid standing, great, amazing, and excellent, unmatched. I think going into this movie, it was not looking good after Quantumania. So I wouldn't necessarily say up in flames. I would say it's meh at this point, going into this movie, Guardians 3.
Yeah.
But I think after this, and what we've seen from this, damn, they can still make really good movies. And I think we're going to be at the solid state. So it's in good standing, I think, the MCU right now. But they need to prove it, not just once. They got to prove it for the next movie as well, which is the Marvels. And
yeah,
I don't know how that's going to go. It looks fun, but so did Quantumania and from the trailers.
Going from Quantumania, because this is like our second time doing this State of the MCU. So we didn't have the rating system last time. So after at Quantumania, I would have said the MCU's in poor condition because what came before that was Thor: Love and Thunder, Black Panther, which is all right, but like not good enough. And then we got Quantumania, which is just a nothing movie. So I'd say it's poor. This movie would bump it up to something that like great or maybe even unmatched because this is such a perfect capper. But I do know that James Gunn is leaving. I do know that these characters probably aren't coming back. It was the end of a trilogy. There's nothing else really happening in the MCU. So like, what else do I have to look forward to in the MCU other than maybe Secret Invasion?
So, well, and we're not talking about Secret Invasion. We're just talking about movies strictly right now.
So movies in general, like I think the Marvels is going to be mediocre at best.
Then after that, we've got Captain America: New World Order.
And if we're going based in the direction that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier set up, I don't want to see that movie.
And then Thunderbolts, which I'm excited for. But that's not till next summer. So, I mean, They got lots of shows in between there.
There's not much promising stuff there for me. So I think I'm out for now. I'm going to say the MCU is at a meh right now. You know, I mean, great job. This is a great entry in the MCU. You know, this is nothing against, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but like we said before, it doesn't really affect the MCU as a whole. So it wouldn't really bump up the quality of the future movies, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think right now the MCU is working towards its next big team up, which is going to be Thunderbolts. So
we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. I'm not going to hold out hope. I'm not going to,
The only thing I'm holding out hope for right now, Secret Invasion. That's not
that
a
looks
movie. It's not even a movie.
That looks genuinely good. Like we were saying
Grounded.
before.
Also
Grounded.
Sci-fi.
It looks like it has a way, like a direction it wants to go in, and it looks solid. It looks like it's gonna pull it off.
I mean, and Loki. I mean, Loki too. But
I talked about this before, or when we were at lunch. But there's certain properties and trailers that I just kind of look at and just like, yeah, I'm really excited for it. But
is it gonna pull it off?
It just doesn't really look like it's gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like Obi-Wan was that trailer for me. I thought, because if you go back, we did a trailer reaction to it. I said, it looks all right. I'm hoping it's great, but I just kind of knew. I just knew it wasn't going to be, and then, but like something like the Hunger Games, the prequel movie, no, it has no right to be, it doesn't have to be good. We already had the quadrilogy. It was already past its time. Why are we doing this now? But it looks like a genuinely good movie to me right now. We'll see what it looks like, but I just have a feeling about that movie being good, other than maybe the main actor. He kind of looks a little cringy here and there. But like Secret Invasion looks like a solid concept and a solid movie, or a solid show,
Do we think Star Wars is in worse standing than the MCU, or the MCU is in worse standing than Star Wars right now?
No, Star Wars is in way worse condition than the MCU. They're not in, neither one of them is in good standing for me. But I think Star Wars is definitely in poor condition.
Up in flames.
It's up in flames. I genuinely, like Ahsoka is going to be damage control.
Make or break.
Yeah, it's got to be, it's got to hit it out of the park, Dave. You got to do it, man. MCU, like at least I still kind of have I got this like,
you're hanging by a thread.
I'm hanging by a thread. I'm accepting that the MCU is not going to be the way it was. And I can't really do that with Star Wars because I know how great it was. And I know there's still magic there somewhere. I'm not exactly sure about the MCU, so I've accepted where it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, Star Wars is in way worse condition than the MCU right now.
Since Endgame, the best Marvel movies have been No Way Home and Guardians 3 right now. And I don't know which one's better because they both kind of stand alone by themselves. So,
and that's
the thing.
That seems like the direction we got to go in because Jonathan Majors has some shit going on.
That's going to be another tough decision because that news is going to be coming out soon. Probably right after we film this. We're filming this.
Yeah.
as of filming this, there's supposed to be something coming out tomorrow. So yeah. I don't know.
I don't want to judge. I don't want to judge this guy immediately. I'm just saying Marvel is in a tight spot with this guy. He could have done what people are accusing him. He could not.
We're going to leave it there for now. So, yeah.
It's not looking great for the MCU, though.